Thursday at 7 p.m. Okay, I'm just going to hand it over to Fei Lam. I think he deserves a clap.
That is a big encouragement, and I will not just give credit to the parents sitting in the front. I will give credit to all of you, because it's very difficult to come back, when you're still talking to different teachers. But I think you are very good parents, so your children will be very, very good students. Thank you, welcome back. Before I start the presentation, I would like to give 2 points before I start. Number one is that regarding language that I'm going to use. In this presentation, I will mainly at the beginning, use English. But when I'm talking about the Chinese curriculum A, I will use Chinese. When I move to curriculum B, I will use English plus some Chinese maybe. The reason is that for most parents whose student learning Chinese A, they are Chinese background, so it would be much easier to use Chinese. And second one is that sometimes when I do the presentation, I will, sometimes will overrun the presentation. So now you are the person who, not just a listener, but also a reminder. If you find that you need to go back to see whether your children are doing homework or not, just circle me and try to stop me and talking. Okay, so let me start. Okay, I think when you talk to Chinese teacher, some questions, they already have been addressed by individual teachers. So in this presentation, I will give you an overall picture of Chinese curriculum. I will not go to individual class and teaching methodology or teaching material used by particular teacher. But in general, how we make the Chinese curriculum work. 4 questions will be addressed in this presentation. One is, what is the learning path for my child? Second, how will my child be taught? How will my child be assessed? And what is the student learning expectation? So the whole presentation will focus on these 4 areas. So you can see the diagram here. I don't know where your children now, maybe in year 8, 9, or year 10, 11, and you can see a little boxes here. Then different classes like A1, A2, A3, B Advanced, B Standard, B Foundation. Then they will go to different classes when they get promoted to different year level. Let me show you. Magic, right? This is the normal way the student will move onward. Give you one example. Like A1 and A2 and A3 in year 8 and 9, they probably will promote to A in 10 and year 11 in theory. And also B Advanced will go to B Advanced in year 10 and 11. B Standard and B Foundation will go to B Standard in year 10 and year 11. You can see there is 2 arrows from B Foundation to B Standard in year 10, 11, and B Foundation in year 10, 11. The reason is that we have new students. Some students enrolled in our school maybe just learn one year in Chinese, so they are still not prepared enough to promote to B Standard. So in year 10, if they join our school in year 9, so in year 10, they still need to sitting in year 10 foundation. So it really depends on how many years they have learned and how far their progress. But actually, there are some special path in our school now currently happening. Is some A3 student will move from B advanced, from an A3 to B advanced when they promoted to year 10. The reason is because year 10 and 11 is the time for MYP assessment and moderation. So if we find that the students are not quite prepared or not suitable for A assessment, and the student will maybe with a suggestion to go to the B advanced. That's the B curriculum. And you can see some students also in year 10 and year 11, A student, they may go to year 12 and year 13 when they get promoted to diploma level. They'll go to B high level, B standard level. That is the reality now in our school. But as an educator, we always want students to move upward. So from B to A, from B foundation to B standard, from B standard to B advanced, from A3 to A, but not downward. That is our purpose. But sometimes it does happen. But we do encourage, our objective is to move all students upward. Although it's quite difficult. Okay, the whole curriculum, the approach is we base on MYP and DP approach to design our curriculum. And focus on skills as well as content. Integrates cultural elements, language, and literature. Teaching material, we mainly use this material. A 课程，快乐学语文，生活中国语文，这些家长刚才也问我这些问题了，然后大概就是这样。然后 DP A1 的，他需要读11到15本的华文和世界文学作品。那么这个文学作品在那个 DP 的 list 里面已经有了。然后 DP 的 A2 要读3到6本的文学作品。然后 Year A 到13年级的 B， 我们主要用的教材就是双中文教材，还有这几个作为一个，我们没有说固定一定要用一个教材，但是呢，我们如果找到比较适合的，可以在不同的教材里面去找资料，还有其他的。这大概呢就是 This is a brief idea of the Chinese curriculum, how it works. Teaching methodology. In fact, different teachers have different ways to teach a student. Some teacher may be quite strict to the student. Some teacher may use the way that you think the traditional way, like ask them to learn the vocabulary and copy the vocabulary. Some will ask them to do more the creative writing. It all depends on different classes, the needs of the student, because our students, their Chinese level are they are very different. Some are low, some are very high. So teachers they are using different methods. Some teachers will focus on foundation, like the Chinese vocabulary, how to let them have more vocabulary. Some teacher will focus on sentence structure. So it really depends on the class, the student's need. But in general, we want teacher like this. We want teacher in the eyes of in students' eye. We want teacher to be a beautiful lady who is able to motivate students to learn, no matter whether they are A or they are B. But beautiful lady is not enough.